everyone, this is Joe RIGGIO with Socially Joe. Normally I have a guest on my show, but today you are blessed with me. I'm going to be sharing some secrets for the most successful points for a good social media strategy. Welcome to episode 47. So the first topic I want to point out to for having a successful social media campaign or strategy is you want to talk about topics that you're passionate about, that you really have an interest in. Because if you don't have an interest in anything and you're just trying to swing it just because you want to say, for ABC Inc. company that does car parts, and you really have no fascination with car parts, and you're trying to put together a post that has to do with car parts, you're not going to be enthused about it. You're going to be like, I think this carburetor goes with this engine light, and we'll try to finagle it to make a post. But for the car gurus, the tech heads, the mechanics, whatever you want to call them, they're going to sit there and they're going to write a really in-depth post. I'm not talking like a huge blog, but they're going to do a nice post of an image that's going to engage people to make them learn about those car parts. So therefore they could talk about an engine light or a carburetor or whatever you want to put in there. It's all up to there. So that would just be number one. Be passionate about your focus, because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to get anywhere. Another item that's always out there is frequency and quality count for your post. So I'm asked this all the time. Joe, how many times should I post on social media? I've heard different things and I've researched different areas. I usually say, for me, works for my business, 3 times a week is the best I would say. But I spread it out. I might do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or I could do a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever I want to do. You have to find out what's the best frequency for you to post. Now, if you do it all the time and you do multiple posts in a day, yeah, you'll probably be locked into Facebook jail or called a spammer, and you'll lose people right away. They're not going to want to listen to you. They're not going to want to see your post, and you'll just lose people right away. But if you find the right frequency of how many times you should be posting and you gain those engagements, you'll see a lot more go up. Now, the quality of your posting does count as well. So with that, you want to make sure that you're posting good quality content. So, example, there's a picture of a person holding a Post-it note that says, "You are beautiful." But I don't see the person. I just see the Post-it note saying, "You are beautiful." That's a good quality post for content, because it's engaging me to think about how beautiful I am, but then also makes me feel good inside and say, okay, instead of all hate-mongering, judging, all this other stuff. Those are things that will be thrown right off the table right there. But as I mentioned with the passion at the beginning, you want to have something that's endearing to your passion. So if you're going to do a quality post, you want to have quality content that you're going to have to talk about. So maybe you have a picture of a mechanic installing something into the vehicle. At this point in time, now you have the person engaging, looking at that image, saying, how is this going to work for me, and was this part really what I needed for this? So here's another classic example. Let's just say you're an auto mechanic and you are trying to do an oil change posting. You can do something the fact of a person in the midst of doing a job of doing an oil tune-up. Or I've seen posts in the past where I've seen like the little oil funnel and the little oil jug going into, the oil thing for the oil change. It's engaging because it makes you think. It goes, okay, they're really into doing oil changes. They're giving me a good deal of price at the time, and they're giving me the quality of content and information I need to decipher to make a choice of if I want to go with them or not. So always frequency and quality count for your posts. The next thing is we want to be humorous, you want to be opinionated, and controversial content here and there. So we're going to touch bases. Real fast, you want to be humorous with your content, because if I were to say post a picture of a pineapple with sunglasses with a party hat on it, and I said, come party in paradise type of scenario, and I made it humorous, well then, yeah, I did my job. But you have to find out how much humor you can push, because sometimes some humor can go dark, and then you can get the wrong content and media feedback. And in today's social media world, if you say one thing wrong, it's out there and boom, you're done. You can be opinionated. Once again, this is the whole thing. Just like the humorous, you can express your opinion to a point. But remember, okay, if you're a business owner or work for a nonprofit or anything like that, entrepreneur, you have to wear what's called rose-colored glasses. So therefore, you cannot express your opinions of, I do not agree with this person because whatever. And it could be about anything, because you will get backlash. Now, this also goes in the fact of, we always talk about having a personal page and a business page for your social media. And if you're expressing your opinions and dark humor and controversial content on that business page, you're just going to be flapping in the water, because you're just like a sitting duck in water, and the shark's going to come up underneath you and gobble you up because you're done. But if I put it on a personal page and I'm keeping what I'm tracking and not being opinionated as much, I'm not going to get a lot of backlash. So these are things you have to be careful of. The controversial content, come on, I don't really need to discuss this. It's going into the dark humor, it's going into the opinionated stuff. It's all the same. It really is. You have to be careful what you post, because if you post something, it's going to bite you in the butt and it will come back tenfold. Whether it's a little small bite or if it's a big smack on the face. It could be anything. So just be careful to take it to a point, and you can still be funny. Just be careful how you express it. Now, here comes another good tip and point. So with 2020, a lot of people and things have changed. We as humans always enjoyed going out and being social with everyone. So we would go out to networking events. We would go out to, the mall, to county fairs, movie theaters, you name it, it's been there, okay? Well, 2020 came, and we had to socially distance ourselves from everything. We were trying to figure out how to get people to engage with us. Well, here's the thing. Before 2020 came out, there was Facebook Live. And even before that, we had Zoom, and there was video content that was being made. Well, before 2020, video, Zoom, and all these other things were just looked at as too expensive. I don't want to use them. I can't utilize this in my business and all this other stuff. Well, wouldn't we all laugh at ourselves now, looking in the future and saying, well, geez, I should have learned that way back when we had, because now I would have been ahead of the curve. Example, Zoom had an explosion of users go up when 2020 happened. They didn't have that many people using it, and then boom, it happened. And now there are tons of people using that platform. But that's not the point I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to say is video content is out there, and you want to utilize it, and it's much cheaper than it was in the past. So with video content out there, you have to think about what type of things you're doing. Now, if, let's say, you watch TV, like I do, and I enjoy my certain shows, like on Travel Channel and stuff like that, you'll find commercials that pop up and they show like the new iPhone, how you can shoot like video on it, or they show a commercial that's a very engaging, utilized commercial, or even if you look on Facebook and you scroll down and you see those commercials where people are trying to sell you a coaching or tell you about a new opportunity or career or something other that's engaging. Those are all video users that are utilizing video now. And print is not dead. Print will still always be here. But we'll go to this with the digital age of blogging, where people go on a website, blog their stuff, and say, today I did blah, 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 blah. Well, in today's world, people are now using vlogs, video log. So therefore, instead of me typing, I'm now telling you by video and expressing everything to you. So use the video content as much as you can. So another thing that was really good that I thought was really relevant is share statistics and facts. That is a really engaging thing for people to look at your post longer, to learn more, and see if you can convert them. Example, if I owned a flower shop and I said in my video post, or even a static picture, doesn't matter, and I said, did you know that 20% of flowers last longer if you cut them on an angle and put them in a vase, they would last X amount of days? Well, that's a statistic that you want to know at this point in time. But right now, that would, if I were to say nothing and just put a picture of a guy with like just pictures saying, or a picture of flowers just saying buy flowers today, it's not really, helping a lot. But if I do the engaging statistic and tell you, it doesn't have to be percentages, it could be anything. Like, did you know between this month to this month is the best time of year to change your tires? I don't know. But these are things that you have to do. If you share statistic and facts, people are much more likely to engage with you and talk with you, reach out, and you can convert them. Because I'm going to be honest, I worked in retail, and I think we all did here and there somewhere in our life. And what's the one thing that happens when you go to a retail store? The person comes over and says, hi, how can I help you? And what's the first thing we do? We shut them down and say, I'm just looking. But if I were to tell you, hey, did you know that this was an interesting fact and didn't even ask you how you were doing? I've now just opened your eyes and mind to a different possibility. You're saying, wow, this person's not trying to sell me, they're trying to give me information. That's what we're trying to do, give information. So a next lovely tip here is add a question in your posts. This is always good. And you can use useful phrases as, did you know? Or have you seen the latest? These kind of go hand in hand with the facts and statistics. So even if you're trying to do the facts and statistics and you're not really finding that to go, post it as a question. See what you can encourage the audience to respond. So here you go. Once again, we'll say you have a picture of two different dresses worn by the same fashion model. And they say, what do you select, picture A or picture B? Well, that's a question post. So what am I going to answer, A or B? Which dress is more appealing to me? So these are things that you can look at to do that. Look at back in the day when we were growing up and we did the more you know type of thing. Well, how about did you know? It's more of that.